welcome to Little Woolly Things. I'm so happy to be here talking with you today. I don't know which episode number this is because I forgot to look it up. And I'm going to start with my knitting content here. And then if you are interested in hearing a little bit about what's going on in my life right now and my family's life, you can watch the little vlog sections that I'm going to put in at the end. So you're going to kind of transport backwards in time. We're going to start with today, and then we'll go back, and then we'll go back a little bit farther. Or maybe I'll do the vlogs in the right order. That makes more sense. Okay, so let's get started. I just finished drinking my coffee, so I am ready to go. Let's start with, let's see. Let me show you my current project. This is a project that I think I probably mentioned on my last episode. It's been a bucket list project of mine for over 30 years, maybe just somewhere around 30 years. This is the Margaret Tudor sweater by Alice Starmore. And I've been wanting to make this for so long. It's definitely a long-term knitting project. Probably the most involved sweater I will ever make. So I just finished one of the panels last night and got it bound, well, not bound off. You don't bind off at the shoulders. You leave your stitches on waste yarn or stitch holders. So I have labeled each panel as I finish it. This is the center front panel. And the yarn that I'm using is a Yarn Bee yarn from Hobby Lobby. It's a hand-dyed, beautiful yarn. So here's the center back, and it's the same as the center front panel. Whoops, I think I have it upside down. No, that was right. It's just a different length. And then I have the piece that I finished last night, which is the front left panel. So this is the arm size shaping, and this is the shoulder shaping. And so there's my first large panel. I need to make 3 more. Another one a lot like this, but for the back, and then 2 more panels that will mirror those. And then there are more panels that I have to knit, and the sleeves also have panels that overlap. So, like I said, this is going to be a very, very long-term project. I am using Chowgu red lace needles, and I think this is a size 2 or 2.5. Let me look. 3 millimeter, whatever 3 millimeter is in US sizing. I bought a long needle because I was thinking you need a long sweater or long needle to get all the way around the long sweater before I really realized that I was knitting, this much at a time. But after I get all of the panels knitted, then I will join them together and then pick up stitches all the way around to do the bottom ribbing. So I will need a long needle at that point. In the meantime, I'm just letting the ends flop wherever they go. But I'm super excited about the progress that I have made on this. So I wanted to show you where I'm at with that. I also wanted to show you an idea that I came up with. My husband and I got out of town for a couple days for our anniversary, and while we were traveling, I was thinking there's got to be a better way to manage my pattern in the car or wherever, so it doesn't get destroyed. Oh, there's a hummingbird. Hello, Mr. Hummingbird. So what I did was I went to Michael's and I was looking for a pattern keeper. I thought, I've seen pattern keepers. You just stick your pattern inside the sleeve and it folds up and it's hard like a hardcover book, and it closes so that your pattern stays nice and readable and doesn't get all crumpled up in your knitting bag. But I could not find one at Michael's. My local Michael's did not have those. So I put on my thinking cap and tried to think outside the box a little bit and wandered around until I got to the paper crafting section, and they had not journals, scrapbooking things. And this is like, it's a nice hardcover. It's got pages with plastic covers, so I can stick my pattern right in there. I can put my little sticky notes on it to keep track of things and where I am in the pattern. And I wanted to show you, maybe I'll have to blur out the chart because I don't think I can show this without showing the chart. But what I did is I bought some washi tape, and I think it's 3M makes a washi tape that's just like a plain fluorescent color, and it's actually sort of translucent. So let me see if I can, maybe I'll just take a photo and insert it here so I'm not showing off the whole chart. That's what I will do. So insert photo here. So anyway, I have my post-it notes in here, and I can tick off my pattern repeats as I work through them. I can make notes of how many pattern repeats I need to do, and I could put multiple patterns in here and use it as a knitter's journal. I want to put a picture of the final project at the beginning. That's why this first page is blank. I'm going to put a picture of my finished project right here, and then I'll have my pattern for it and all of my notes immediately following it. So I think this could be a lot of fun just to keep records and look back at what I've accomplished, and I can put dates on things. And I'm going to hold on for a second while the neighbor goes by in his bumpy truck. I finished a baby hat, so I'm kind of bouncing around from whip to finished project. Finished a baby hat as a gift for my nephew and his wife's first baby, and I will put a picture of it in here so you can see it. I had so much fun. I just grabbed some yarn and some needles and knitted a hat, and then I thought, oh, it'd be so cute if it had little teddy bear ears. So that's what they got. They got a little improvised teddy bear hat. My one other knitting project that I have going right now is something mindless for in the car or TV knitting or whatever, because obviously that Margaret Tudor sweater is not the best TV knitting project. I have gotten to where I understand the pattern enough that I can watch something while I'm working on it, but I do have to refer to the chart a lot. So for those times when I just don't want to think that hard, I have a sock. Just a plain old toe-up sock. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to knit a tube with a toe on this end, of course, until I get to just about the end of this, and then I'm going to knit another toe. So I will have one enclosed piece with a toe on each end. And then what I will do is I will snip the yarn and separate the two pieces right in the middle, put the stitches on needles again, and I will knit the cuffs on each sock, and then I will do an afterthought heel. I'll cut in where I want my heels, and that will allow me to do some contrasting yarn and have fun and not have to think at all at this point in this project. It can sit in my bag for months if it needs to, or for, however, and I don't have to remember anything about how I did this. I just need to knit. And then doing the cuffs and the heels will be a piece of cake. So that is my mindless knitting project that it's not really worth talking about, except that it's a little bit unusual doing afterthought everything. And it's kind of fun. I did another pair of socks that way once, and I used a really thick, like a DK weight yarn, and man, those socks are bulletproof. I love them. They are perfect for really cold mornings. These ones won't be so bulletproof, but I think it's just fun to have something to do with my hands. Okay, so the next project that I've been working on is actually crochet. And this was, I was unaware that this existed. It is the ultimate Granny Square Sourcebook. 100 contemporary motifs to mix and match. And Michelle from the Naughty Knitwits podcast mentioned this. I think I probably showed this off in my last episode. But what I would like to do is work through all of the squares in this book. Of course, isn't that what everybody says when they're going to pick up a 100 design pattern book? So here are the first two granny squares that I have made. This is the first one in the book, and this is the second one in the book. And I just think they are so pretty. There's so many different themes and patterns and styles in this book. It's going to be a lot of fun to work through. I would like to do some tutorials for some of the special techniques that are used in each of these squares, because they're not all beginner sort of designs. Even the beginner rated designs in the book still have some special techniques. So you can keep your eyes open for some tutorials coming in the future. I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think that is it for my projects. So let's go on to some acquisitions. I won a giveaway from Soxy Nana Alice. I think her podcast is just called Soxy Nana. Anyway, she makes these cute needle cozies, and she sent me 2 of them. I still haven't even tried to use them yet, so let's see if I can figure it out. It has a snap that opens up and snaps. And I just happen to have a pair of knitting needles here. So I think the idea is that you put the needles in here and coil up the cable, right? Snip the needles through there, and then the snap holds the cable in place like that. So that's pretty cool. I think those might come in handy. There's a little hanging loop if you want to hang it. And I could see that you could have your project on this section of your needles, and you could keep it all together and not lose your stitches. That's fun. Thank you, Alice. I believe these are going to get a lot of use. And she's got some really, really fun fabrics that she's using. So she's doing lots of giveaways on her channel, and she's giving away these cute little needle cozies. So check out Soxy Nana here on YouTube. And she did send me a cute little card. She's thanked me for supporting her channel. So that is awesome. I have been really enjoying watching her podcast and seeing the projects that she's working on. Okay, so I also ordered, this was one of those Instagram ads that got me. This is the washi tape shop, and I don't know if you all understand how much I love washi tape. I really, really do. And so the washi tape shop comes out with these collections of washi tapes and stickers, and every month, I think. I don't know. This is the first time I have ordered from them. But this is the washi tape that I got. I don't know if you can really see it, but it's just like this scene with grass and mountains in the background. It's just a nice little pink toned landscape. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but it might make it into my knitting journal to decorate some projects. Along with the washi tape, they also sent, like, this is a crazy amount of stickers. These are all stickers on rolls. 13 different rolls of stickers, and these are all fall themed. And I had to get these because of the pumpkins and the tea kettles, and also over here, coffee beans and coffee cups and mugs with like whipped cream and sprinkles that say sweater weather, little paw prints and dragons, and over here we have butterflies and flowers, and this looks like snowflakes. Like there's quite a variety here. So these are going to be added to my Etsy orders as I ship them out, my Bravewood Beanery orders. If you order coffee from me, you'll end up with a little washi sticker on your receipt. I like doing things like that. It's just fun. So, let's see. Oh, I also, this is not really knitting related, but it's sort of knitting related. I recently changed my cell phone service. Okay, as you do sometimes. The service that I had out here in the middle of nowhere was not really serving me well. So I went with a more expensive cell phone service provider. And they gave me a rebate when I traded in my phone. And with that rebate, I bought myself some Bose earbuds. Now, these are the Bose Quiet Comfort noise canceling earbuds. They have some really awesome features. You can actually adjust the amount of noise canceling, and I tell you, I would never have spent the money on these if I didn't have that rebate to use up, because they're really expensive, but they are very comfortable, and I have been amazed at the sound quality. I had some cheap earbuds before, and I could hear things that I was watching, but with these, I feel like I am in the room with you when I'm watching a podcast. I was watching the We Share Needles podcast the other day, and every time a piece of paper was rustled or something, I heard it back behind me somewhere. And when Maddie was speaking, I heard her on one side, and when Kristen was speaking, I heard her on the other side. It was amazing. I really felt like I was in the room with them. So that's how it's knitting related. I watch podcasts at night after the kids go to bed, and I knit. And I was blown away by the sound quality. So if you are considering buying some Bose earbuds for whatever reason, yeah, I don't know if they're actually worth that much money, but they sure are a high quality product. I bought them because I do the live stream for our church, and I have had an issue with being able to hear the sound that's actually going out across the live stream when I'm in the room with the sound of the room. It's not the same. When you are live streaming, all you get is the sound that is coming through the microphones to the computer, and you don't hear any of that ambient room noise. You don't hear the piano in the room. You only hear what the microphone picks up of the piano. I hope that makes sense. And having the audio syncing with the video is always an issue. There's always a little bit of a lag. And so what I wanted to do is put in these noise canceling earbuds and open up our live stream with my phone so I can make adjustments on the fly and actually get it fine-tuned. I have it like close, but it's not exact, and I really want to have a very high quality video for people who are watching church services from home for whatever reason. So that was the reason why I spent the money on the very expensive earbuds. But I thought I would show them off to you because they really are pretty cool. What else do I need to talk to you about? I think that's all of my acquisitions. I did want to do a little shameless self-promotion because it is pumpkin season, and I just wanted to remind you all that I do have a knitted pumpkin pattern out there on Ravelry. This is the Autumn Pumpkin Trio, and it does have instructions for 3 different sizes of these pumpkins. And they're just really fun little projects to use up extra little bits of yarn. This is my tall and skinny one. You can make it as tall and skinny or short and wide as you want. I do have instructions for adjusting the size and the shape of the pumpkin in the pattern. It also includes a duplicate stitch embroidery design that you can put on your pumpkin. That was a lot of fun. And I actually did a little bit of playing around with some thicker yarn, some yarns held together. Sorry, I'm picking like cat hairs off of this. I held a filament with sequins with just a regular old white sock yarn. And then I think I updated this pattern last year and added the instructions for the curly stem. This has a chenille stick inside it to make it hold its shape. Isn't that fun? This is probably my favorite of all the pumpkins. I did a huge one with some thick, chunky chenille yarn, like big enough to be a couch cushion. And that, I think, is still over at the other house. So I would show that off, but I can't because it's not here. So anyway, moving and canning and organizing is kind of keeping us very, very busy right now. And I will talk about some of that in the little vlog sections here at the end. But I did want to mention that one of the perks of moving my yarn stash is that I found some yarn skeins that I had forgotten even existed, and so it's almost like Christmas. Like all of a sudden I have all this new yarn that I forgot I even had. So maybe I will, when I have time to actually plan another project, I'll dig into some of those older skeins that I forgot I had. It's not a bad thing to go through your yarn stash every once in a while. I have had to look at all of the stuff and make some decisions about what actually gets moved over here and what doesn't, what goes to the thrift store, what goes to the dump, what gets given away to people. That's where I'm at. We are in that stage of moving where I don't know where anything is except my coffee maker. Let's see. We have been canning everything. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in the vlog section. Canning apples and pears and green beans and stuff. I did harvest some tomatillos out of my garden, and we made some chilaquiles, and that was so yummy, and really fun to actually cook something that I picked out of my garden, just brought it in, washed it, chopped it up, and cooked it for dinner. You know, I miss being able to do that. The house that we moved from was really, really in the middle of the trees and had no sunshine, and so I didn't get very much gardening done. A little. I grew tomatoes and tomatillos, and hoped and prayed every year that there would be enough sunshine for the tomatoes to get ripe. And I think I actually made salsa with green tomatoes a couple times. I did have some pretty good rhubarb growing out there, but anyway. I think I'm sort of running out of stuff to talk about, so I am going to... Hi, Justin. You want to come say hello? Here he comes. There is stuff in the way.
Hi.
There's Justin. Do you need something? So that is all that I have for knitting content and acquisitions and shameless self-promotion. You can find the pattern for the pumpkins on Ravelry, the Autumn Pumpkin Trio by Wendelica Klein. And so I'm going to leave you with past me driving around and talking about all the stuff that's going on here. Enjoy. I will see you next time. Bye. Hey guys, I am driving to the old house. I have been putting together a list of things that we are actually missing in the new house. We moved the bare necessities last week so that we could kind of camp out in the new house, and I thought that we would just move over the things we actually need and not just load up every single thing that we own, and try and stuff it into a smaller house. So that means that I've been a little bit frustrated when I want something and realize that it did not make the first cut of things to move over. Luckily, we're only 7 or 8 miles from the old house, so it's not very far to drive. I don't like making too many trips back and forth because it does use up a lot of gas, and I don't have a small car. I have a big mom car that's big enough to carry a cello and 3 violins and a couple guitars and all that, plus camping gear. So anyway, and we live out here in the middle of nowhere where it takes me 45 minutes to drive to town to go buy groceries. I use a lot of fuel, so I try to consolidate my trips as much as possible. We just, right now we have to make some concessions and just understand that we're going to use more gas in these next few weeks than we normally do. We keep meals simple to offset the costs. So anyway, I just thought I would do this a little bit of a kind of a vlog style with a V, because I don't have a lot of extra time right now for sitting down and planning out an orderly sort of podcast, because we're in the middle of moving, which is super exciting. We've been working on fixing up the house over at the ranch for the last 16 months, and we finally just decided, you know what, we're gonna do it. We're just gonna pack up our beds and some clothes and move over. So we did that. We brought some pots and pans. I didn't even bring my whole kitchen complement. Just brought a frying pan and 2 saucepans and my big pot that I like to cook my pasta in. And so, hold on a second while I check for traffic. All right. So yeah, we've been sort of kind of almost roughing it. We didn't have any furniture until 3 days ago, when we had a bunch of friends help us move all those big things like the couches and the freezers. We have a small chest freezer and we have an upright freezer that were in our barn, and now they're moved into the shop, so that's pretty cool. We got so much accomplished that day. It was so much more than I even dreamed of getting done, so I'm super thankful for those friends who helped us move all that big stuff. But we still have some little stuff that we need to sort through and decide what makes the second cut, what gets moved over and what gets taken to the dump and what goes to the thrift store. I just keep weeding things out a little bit at a time. I take a little bit to the thrift store at a time. So it's kind of a long, slow process, which is kind of frustrating. But I'm really happy, really glad that I don't have a landlord breathing down my neck telling me, you gotta be out by, next week or you're gonna have to pay more, another month's rent or whatever. So yeah, the situation is not as bad as it could be. And we have certainly moved under some of those kinds of situations before. Under those circumstances. Whoa, there's somebody coming down the road. That's my neighbor. Bless her. Oh, what are we gonna do? The power company is working on, or not the power company, phone company is working on the phone lines because our neighbor cut the phone line doing some digging the other day, and so we have been without any sort of communication over here for a few days, and I'm kind of glad that we were already moved over. I wonder if I can get past them. Hello, can I squeeze through there? Do you think I'll fit?
Well, the car just came through there before they moved the back room.
Okay. Okay, this is interesting. Alright. Okay. Alright, well at least they're gonna get the phone lines fixed. Yay. Because while I'm working here, the kids are over at the ranch and they are supposed to be getting chores done for me while I am over here doing this stuff. But if anything happens, they can't contact me over here until they get those phone lines fixed. Alright, coming down the driveway. See this handy switchback? Yeah. We take it slowly and carefully. Hi, I am in my car again. It's Wednesday, 15th? I think it's the 15th. Yes, September 15th, 2021. And I don't remember when the last time was that I recorded something in my car driving around, but yeah, I'm on my way to town right now, and I need to go to the post office, I need to go to the bank, I'm shipping out some coffee orders, and I'm doing one local delivery while I'm out, and you know, buying some household staples, things like that. So anyway, I've got 40 minutes while I'm driving that I can talk to you. I don't think I'm going to talk for the whole 40 minutes. But anyway, yeah, I've got some coffee orders I need to deal with, and I need to say hello to Amy from the Happy Little Yarn Podcast. Hi, Amy. We were talking this morning about coffee, and I was just telling her that I really need to record a podcast episode, but I just haven't had time to even... Like, I don't want to stress you all out with my stress, but we're in the middle of moving. I think I said that earlier. And we've actually been in the house for like 3 weeks or so. I don't know how long it's been, because I can't keep track of anything right now. But anyway, I have all of my coffee stuff from Braidwood Beanery moved over to the house, but it's not actually in the roastery yet because we are building a new roastery, but it's not finished. So right now everything is just stuffed in an extra room in the house, and coffee orders, I can get them out, but it's a little extra work to actually locate the beans that I need to roast. Yeah. So things are just a little bit frustrating. I was canning, and that's the other thing that's going on right now. It's canning season, and the ranch has quite a few fruit trees, and in my little garden, even though I didn't water it all summer, still provided me with tomatoes and tomatillos, and so I got a couple batches of salsa done, which is very cool. We go through salsa like crazy, and I found the best tomato salsa recipe. Like, it's so good. I'll have to put a link to the recipe down below, because yeah, it's probably the best red salsa I've ever made. Super, super happy with it. And I cannot remember the name of the food blogger post, you know, that I got it from, but I'll try and find it. I think I might have pinned it on Pinterest. Maybe if you want to go check out my Pinterest pins. I'm Little Woolly Things on Pinterest. Anyway, yeah, so it's been canning season, and we have been canning applesauce. We have been drying pears. We have been canning dilly beans, and I finished my regular green beans yesterday. And so, yeah, it's just every day has been another canning project, and I'm trying to be responsible and not wasteful because the bounteous provision, the harvest is wonderful this year, and I just don't want to waste that because the harvest isn't always this plentiful. So yeah, we've fed so many apples to the sheep just because I did not have time to deal with apples. And yeah, once we actually got moved and able to function, I started canning the applesauce. So another, another 10 or 12 quarts of applesauce will get us through this year, and that'll be good. Sorry if I'm rambling. I feel like I'm really rambling, but I didn't have anything planned out when I hit record. I'm just driving and talking. Maybe I'll turn the camera around so you guys can see what my drive is like. Oh, you can't see. Here we go. Angle the camera a little better. This is where I live. It is such a beautiful place. Sorry, my windshield is dirty. You're probably not getting really great colors or anything. But we live out here in the trees. And there are animals around us. The other day I was driving through here and saw a bear. And we actually stopped and got video of this bear, and we got pictures. It was so funny because he was up with his claws against the tree, and he saw us stop. We slowed down really gradually. We stopped and we looked at him. And there was a clump of grass next to the tree that he was at, and he got his face behind this clump of grass like this could hide him from us. I don't know if it was male or female. I'm just saying he, because anyway, yeah, he was trying to hide behind this clump of grass, and we didn't move or do anything, and I think he peeked out to see if we were still there, and yes, we were still there, so he just sat there, and we took more pictures of him. He was beautiful, beautiful animal, and not a really big bear, but definitely not a baby bear. So if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen pictures of him. It was really a neat thing. He was right along the road. You don't see a bear along the road very often. So that was kind of cool. And he was actually just on the other side of these rocks here when we saw him. We normally have to watch out for deer when we're driving along here. There are certain places where there are just always deer. No matter what time of day you drive through, there are going to be deer. And deer are not the brightest creatures. They sometimes get scared and jump right out in front of you. And they can whirl around and spin the opposite direction that they were facing, don't think that just because it's walking off of the road away from you that it isn't going to spin around and jump in front of you. I've had that happen. Nearly totaled the car over it. So here we are. We're almost to the bridge. And I'll see if I can show you our beautiful river. We live along the Umpqua River. There's our river one way, and there it is the other way. This is such a beautiful place to live. I'm really, really thankful for the beauty of my surroundings where I get to live. At night I hear crickets and frogs. In the morning I hear birds. And actually I look out my bedroom window in the morning and there's usually a turkey walking across the backyard. They don't even care about people being there. They just do their thing. Turkeys are almost like street gangs in our little town of Elkton. You just, in the early mornings, you just have to stop and let the turkeys walk in front of you because they're just gonna do it. And it's never one or two turkeys in town. It's like 20 turkeys. I do have some knitting that I want to show you. I'm gonna have to wait until I'm at home to show you my knitting projects, of course, because you can't drive and knit at the same time. It just doesn't work. Unless someone else is driving. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.